What's going on, everybody? This is Joe from Broforce, and this is your AEW Dynamite review.
Hey, this is Angel Garza from WWE, and you are watching the Bro Force.
So we open the show with Lance Archer and Jake Roberts cutting a little promo, and Jake Roberts said he was told to come out here and give an apology for what he did to Brandi last week. And if you didn't see, Brandi was attacked after Lance Archer versus QT Marshall by Britt Baker and thrown into the ring just to have a snake put on top of her from Jake Roberts. So he was supposed to come out and apologize for that, but he said if if they're gonna want an apology, they're gonna have to kiss his ass first because he's not getting an apology. And then he went on, and then you could hear some type of vehicle in the background or something, and they kind of ignored it for a little bit, but it turns out it was Cody Rhodes in his truck. He pulled up, and he came through, and he wanted to fight. He came for a fight, and he came ready. So him and Lance Archer fought a little bit. I would say he got the better of Lance right here, but eventually Jake Roberts pulled Lance Archer off, and told him to get away and wait for Double or Nothing. So it was a really hot start to Dynamite this week, and then we went on to Best Friends versus Jurassic Express. Best Friends Trent and Chuck versus Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy. It was a really good match, but what happened towards like the end of the match, Phoenix would just come out of nowhere and attack Orange Cassidy, which it was hilarious the way it looked. It looked like he just flew through the tunnel. And when that was happening, the ref was distracted, and MJF came over the barricade and attacked Jungle Boy, threw him against the ring post and stuff. And this is all because first Orange Cassidy and Ray Phoenix are both in the ladder match, which I'll explain the rules to that in just a moment. And Jungle Boy's facing MJF at Double or Nothing, but overall it was a pretty fun match. I really hope this ends up leading to Luchasaurus versus Wardlow, because for the Blood and Guts show, the show that Blood and Guts was supposed to have on, we were supposed to get Luchasaurus versus Wardlow, and I was so looking forward to that. So I really hope we get it at Double or Nothing, because that would be amazing. But anyways, the rules were explained for the ladder match. The ladder match will feature 9 competitors, not 6, like I assumed, but 9. And I'm assuming start with 2, and then every 90 seconds a new wrestler will come down, and then a victor will be crowned when one man grabs the casino chip that will be hanging above the ring that they'll have to get, instead of like a briefcase like in WWE, like Money in the Bank match or something. So whoever gets to the chip earns a AEW World Title match. So even the first 2 competitors that are in the ring, they can get the chip before anyone else even comes in. So it could be, let's say, Darby Allin and Colt Cabana in the ring, and they don't, Orange Cassidy and Ray Phoenix might not even have a chance to get in the match. So who knows? We'll see. Let's see how that goes. It's obviously not gonna happen. Maybe Orange Cassidy won't make it in the match because he'll be walking down too slow or something. But so far in this match we have Darby Allin, Colt Cabana, Orange Cassidy, and Ray Phoenix. So we have some more people to be announced. If I had to guess who else they would put in the match, it would probably be Shawn Spears, Scorpio Sky, Joey Janela, Kip Sabian, and Jimmy Havoc. I think those 5 people could really elevate the match, make it a really good match, especially with who's already in it. So I think if they added those people, maybe they could probably change like some people out, but I think that could be really good. But I don't know who else they could put in the match. But then we went on to the Fatal 4-Way match between Penelope Ford, Britt Baker, Kris Statlander, and Hikaru Shida. It was pretty good. All 4 of those women are amazing in the ring. 4 of the best they have. But it was assumed that this would be basically a number 1 contenders match, which it did end up being. It was really good. It sparked 2 matches. Hikaru Shida won, and she's going to be facing Nyla Rose at Double or Nothing. But for some reason, Britt Baker is kind of dumb, and she had the lockjaw locked on to Kris Statlander outside the ring as Shida was pinning Penelope forward. I don't know why Britt Baker didn't think about stopping and going to break up the pin and actually trying to win, but she kept the lockjaw locked like for minutes after the match too. So, and then that sparked another match. So we'll also have Britt Baker versus Kris Statlander at Double or Nothing. So that should be good. Nyla Rose versus Hikaru Shida is probably gonna be like, people probably aren't gonna be like praising that match as it should be. I think Nyla Rose is really good. I think she gets some like hate for no reason really. Her and Riho put on the top two best women's matches in AEW. The first one and the second one. They're the like number one and two on the top two list, on top five list, I guess you could say, of women's wrestling matches in AEW. She can talk. She's a good talker too, so that should be good. I'm looking forward to that one. And then we moved on to Santana Ortiz versus Matt Hardy and Kenny Omega, which I guess that's a team now. They've teamed the past 2 weeks, but it's pretty good. Santana Ortiz attacked Kenny Omega before he got in the ring, before Matt Hardy was out, and they attacked him for a little bit until Matt Hardy came out and he was biting Santana. I don't remember if he bit Ortiz, he might have, but he was biting Santana, and it looked like he had blood in his mouth. I don't know if that was real blood or fake blood. Kind of looked real, but definitely, I don't think it was Santana's blood. But it was a pretty good match. There was one move that I really liked that Matt Hardy did. It was like a butterfly guillotine type submission. It's a move that I always thought like Moxley should do, because he does the paradigm shift with like the double underhook one, and I always felt like he could hit that and then turn it into like a guillotine type submission, and like have him pass out as like an alternative to the paradigm shift. I always thought that was cool, but before Ortiz could pass out from that submission, which I thought was really good, Sammy came out with a chair and his neck brace on, and he was gonna attack Matt Hardy with a chair, but he did not do that because Matt Hardy struck first and hit him with a really nice looking twist of fate. Sammy's really good at selling. That's like his best thing, I think. He's a really good seller. But Kenny Omega and Matt Hardy took the win with that one, and it would not be the last we would see of Matt Hardy today, because something very devastating happened after that. And then we went backstage for an interview with Hikaru Shida, talking about her win and how she's now going to be facing Nyla Rose for the Women's Championship at Double or Nothing. But after talking about it for like 20 seconds, she got interrupted by the Women's Champion herself, Nyla Rose, and she hit her in the head with a kendo stick and looked at the camera and said, "I found your kendo stick, bitch." Nyla Rose's words, not mine. I thought that was really funny. I don't know if it was supposed to be funny, but for some reason Nyla Rose makes everything funny when she talks. But yeah, there's a little build for that. And then we went on to MJF versus Lee Johnson, basically a squash match. It was MJF's first match back since his hangnail or something, whatever he had. At these few weeks of like AEW Dynamite and Dark, Lee Johnson had like 5 matches, and I think he's been pretty impressive as like basically enhancement talent. He's been one of the impressive ones to me, I think. But MJF ended up winning with a I forget what it's called, the armbar thing. I can't remember what it's called. That's gonna bother me. And then he got a mic, started talking, and he said there was an open contract to have a match with Marco Stunt next week, and he signed his name on the dotted line. So next week we have Marco Stunt versus MJF. So once again, we have MJF versus Marco Stunt. Next week we have MJF versus Jungle Boy at Double or Nothing. Give me Luchasaurus versus Wardlow. That's all I want. That's all I want. please. I will be happy. It's, trust me. It could be a terrible match, and I will love it. Just, just give me what I want. And then we moved on to the long-awaited match between Chris Jericho and Shug D, aka Pineapple Pete. I was really looking forward to this. Shug D, I don't know if I should call him Shug D or Pineapple Pete, but it seemed like he was going by Pineapple Pete now. So Pineapple Pete has had a really hot start. He got all the offense in, but it was probably about a minute long because he went to run at Jericho in the corner, and then he got a Judas effect out of nowhere, and then he got pinned. It was kind of sad. I was really hoping, like, it could be the build of a new star. I really hope he's signed because I really like him. His promo work is really good too. He even had pyro and all when he came out. I was surprised by that. And he had like nice Titan Sean and nice theme music. It would have been great. I feel like they should have done this at Double or Nothing. It was the most heated rivalry leading up during like commentary and stuff, you know. But afterwards, Chris Jericho grabbed a mic and he challenged the Elite to a Stadium Stampede match. What is a Stadium Stampede match, you might ask? Well, I'm going to tell you. Stadium Stampede match is a match in the middle of a football stadium. That's all we got out of that. I'm assuming there's no rules. And it's going to be in the Jaguar Stadium that's connected to Daly's place, which is where they're having Double or Nothing. But he gave that challenge, and he wanted an answer. He wanted an answer right away. And who came out? Vanguard won. Vanguard 1 came out with the Inner Circle shirt, and Chris Jericho must speak drone or something because he was talking to Vanguard 1 and he asked if they accept, and he said he reported him in like 9 states for theft or something for the shirt that he's been wanting back. But he started talking to Vanguard 1 asking if they accept, and apparently, well, it popped up on the screen. Vanguard 1 said they accept, but I don't know how Chris Jericho understood that. He couldn't see the screen. And then Chris Jericho introduced the 6th member of the Inner Circle. Who's the 6th member? Is it Jeff Cobb? Was it Jeff Cobb? I guess not. He's gone. I don't know where he went. Where's Jeff Cobb? I want Jeff Cobb back. But it was none other than Lloyd, the baseball bat. Lloyd the baseball bat is the 6th member of the Inner Circle. And Vanguard 1 got familiar with Lloyd really quick because Chris Jericho and all the Inner Circle took hits with Lloyd and destroyed Vanguard 1. It was really upsetting. I teared up a little bit. Matt Hardy came out after he was destroyed, and he just looked devastated. It was like a family member to him, you know? It's really sad. I hope next week on Dynamite we have a funeral for Vanguard 1, because he deserves it. Vanguard 1 will forever live in history. Or actually, maybe next week we'll be introduced to Vanguard 2. Who knows? But that was a pretty fun segment. They all ran away. There's 5 of them and 1 Matt Hardy. They all ran away when Matt Hardy came out like he's going to be able to take them all. But Matt Hardy didn't come out to fight. He just came out to see Vanguard 1 because Vanguard 1 is no more. And then we moved on to the main event, which was Brody Lee versus Christopher Daniels. When Brody Lee comes out, he takes off his jacket to unveil the AEW Championship around his waist, and he told Dasha to introduce him as the AEW World Champion, so Dasha did it. The self-proclaimed AEW World Champion, she said. But it was an alright match. It was good. Brody Lee kicked out of Christopher Daniels' finisher at 1, which made him look pretty strong. But of course, Brody Lee won. But after the match, Mox came out because he wanted his belt back. So he came out, and Brody Lee was throwing all of his... Does he still call them creepers? I don't know. Excalibur was calling them followers, but, I mean, they used to call them creepers, so I don't know what to call them. But he was throwing all of his followers at him, I guess I should say. And Mox got all of them out, but he couldn't get to Brody Lee. Brody Lee got away with the belt. And then Mox cut a promo on him, basically saying he wants his title back and his career in AEW is going to be over before it even started, which, I mean, didn't really make sense. It already started. I don't mean to break it to you, Mox, but I'm sorry. But yeah, and then he got away, and there was a bunch of matches that got announced, and I'm going to go through all of them. Rey Fenix versus Orange Cassidy next week, which is going to be amazing, because you got one of the most fast-paced, most unique wrestlers in AEW, and you got the literal most unique and slowest wrestler in AEW. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And then, like I said before, we have Marcus Stunt versus MJF. I already explained that. And then this is going to be really good. We have a face-to-face interview with Jake the Snake Roberts and Arn Anderson, which those two are amazing talkers, so that's going to be really good. We have Sammy Guevara versus Matt Hardy next week. And we have Preston Vance, 10 from the Dark Order, versus Jon Moxley. And the biggest announcement of them all, Mike Tyson will be at Double or Nothing to present to us the AEW television, or TNT, TNT champion. So that should be interesting. I was not expecting that at all, but I mean, I'll take it. I'm pretty sure, didn't Mike Tyson just like announce he's coming back to boxing? So that makes it even bigger. But yeah, that's everything that happened on Dynamite this week. I will be back next week for your Dynamite review and Raw review. Hayden's going to be uploading his NXT review and SmackDown review. His NXT review will come out the same day as this one. His SmackDown review will be out on Saturday. So if you watch this far, I mean, I'm not trying to force you or anything, but I mean, you should probably subscribe if you watch this far. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you again next week.